Siamo live, sì.
Very nice. Hello, hello. This is Edgar Russ from Cremona, Italy, and this is Lena Yokoyama from Cremona. She is a Japanese violinist based here in Cremona, and she's very, very helpful for me and very, very talented and very good. And I appreciate her playing very much because she is very good in showing to you via my channels, my work, my web shop, all the instruments we have available. And she plays them, we record them, and you can at home from the computer listen to every instrument, compare them one to each other, and she is very good to take out the nice sound of every single instrument, and this is not a very easy task. Now, when it comes on violins, it's actually always a standard measurement, so it's a little bit easier. With the viola, she showed me a few days ago her high ability to adapt to every kind of measurement. Within 2 hours, she played 13 violas from 43.5 to 39, and this is coming tomorrow, and you will see that what we do for the viola players. Today, this 30 minutes we dedicate just for the violin. We have another edition, another transmission of MondoMusica digital at the auditorium today at 4:15, and you can follow it on Zoom. And I think this is also very interesting, and we were going to focus there because it's only permitted to play only on 2 violins, so we will play on a violin of mine, a Guarnieri in the Stradivari. And here now we can play a little bit more instruments. We can do it a little bit more easygoing, I think. And yeah, this is now our situation here right now live. What is this violin? This 2019. This violin has bears the label 2019, but actually has been made in 2018 for the 15th competition, the violin making competition in Cremona. At that time it was different varnished, not this antiquing, this slightly antiquing. It was without these precious stones, without the diamond rings, which are made from a jewelry here close by. And it's a different option. I just thought the violin itself sounds very good. And
warm sound, I think.
A warm sound?
I like, come dire, è morbida, no? C'è anche tutto chiaro, però i bassi c'è anche questa parte un po' profondo.
Okay. A warm sound, but still, nevertheless, still has a nice focus, so you can strong enough. So it's a very rich, nice Stradivari sound. Yeah. Nowadays there go a lot of strange models, you know, Guarnieri, Testore, Bergonzi, and there's models before you never saw, and now everybody is going a little bit more some specific things. sound-wise also things are a little bit more open to a little bit more particular, a little bit more personal taste when it comes to violin sound, which is good. But so when we talk about sound, I personally, yes, I also think it is more challenging to make a very fancy Guarnieri. Like I show you one here, I make a copy of the Guarnieri same tone. It looks like a guinea pig, the F holes like, and the very warm one corners and things like this. And yeah, so this is something very particular. Here also the scroll, if you look at this, is very particular, okay? And the sidewise here like this, okay? This is very attracting, very appealing, but when it comes to a Stradivari, a nice Stradivari, it's not so easy to get it so perfect as Stradivari. He was really good craftsman. But once you have it nice, it's every time you hear a nice Stradivari, you say, okay, you know, there's something. It has a little bit of everything, and it is pretty equilibrated. Let's just hear in to this Guarnieri a little bit. Let's see. I'm going to show you.
Same piece?
How you want, you know?
A little bit same piece and
Yes, okay. Yeah, come on. Very nice. I just like my instruments. I shouldn't say so, but I think this is really. Last time we were recording a few violins. You even I made one more track with this one, so I think you like this one.
I remember.
And when playing, there is a big difference between this one and the violin, the Stradivari you played before.
Parlo in italiano perché sennò la risposta è comunque un po' diversa. Questo sento sono belli tutti e due, ma risposta ancora più veloce, quindi mi sembra che adattati per fare pezzi veloci, no? Invece l'altro è un attacco un pochettino più morbido, quindi per suonare Bach secondo me anche viene molto bene.
She said that here the responding is a little bit quicker right at the moment. The other one responds good, but it's a little bit every tone a little bit softer responding, yeah. Very good. Just if you're out there now, you say, okay, these are new violins. I have, of course, always new violin. I have a Stradivari, which I sold in 2013 to Edmond Basha in Geneva, in Switzerland. And he played for several years, first violin on this one. It's a Stradivari. It was probably one of my very first instruments. I put it on the casein calcium preparation, which is, people believe that this is the magic wood preparation when you read about this magic wood preparation which made this superb Stradivarius sound, it's not all hocus pocus, but there's something true on the whole thing. And actually I started to apply this system after I had this varnishing seminar translating from Brigitte Brandmeier here in Cremona. It was organized by the Chamber of Commerce, and all the violin makers, all the students of the violin making school, they were all invited. There were hundreds of people. Everybody actually should know and should now, to my opinion, use it now, but not all of them are willing to change on the wood preparation. And so I put it on, and I think it has a very good sound. All my instruments now have this wood preparation, but this was one of my very first ones here, and I like it. And I got it back because he wanted to change to a Guarnieri, because at the time he was choosing this one, he was a little bit, should I go for the Stradivari Lord Wilson or the Stradivari from Edgar? And then he took the Stradivari, and it was always in the backside, the Guarnieri, the Guarnieri. So when I had a Guarnieri, I said, come, I have it. He came here, fall in love immediately and changed it, paid a little difference, and now he's playing on a Guarnieri Lord Wilson. Yeah? Mm-hmm. And this is the Stradivari, which was played very well. You see this, I didn't make it, that was him playing so much. He's like, you know, like 6 hours a day playing like crazy. It's incredible, and it's so nice to see your own made instruments starting to be antiqued by being played that much. Mm-hmm. I think we will play this one also at the museum today. That's nice. Yeah.
È un po', quindi sempre Stradivari, giusto? Come
Questo è Stradivari, sì.
diverso, non è lo stesso modello, però...
No, non esattamente lo stesso modello. It's not exactly the same model. The other one is a little bit larger Stradivari. It's I think the Hellier, and this one is a King George, which is a model which I make very, very often. It makes a difference if you use a model for more than 10-20 years, then you get to know all the tiny differences. It really helps.
Gli strumenti crescono anche con i musicisti, no? Che
certo.
Dipende anche da chi lo suona, si sviluppa anche il suono, si sente che è più maturo.
Tu che modello hai?
No, Stradivari. Sì. Okay. Poi un altro violino antico, Gili, che è un modello un po' strano, particolare, di Roma, quello antico, 752.
Okay. Lena says that the instrument, the sound itself is also nice when it's played, when it's new, and it's being played by a good musician, then the instrument is also growing in one direction or another, so you can tell that it has been played, and you can feel that it has been played already for a long time. Then I asked her what violin she's playing, and she's playing on a Stradivari, a modern violin from a maker here in town, I think. I saw it once, but I don't remember the name. So
Eva
Cristo, okay. And then she has a antique instrument, 1750. Giulio Cesare from Rome. And this is a good combination, you know.
Completely different.
Okay. But personally, you like a more, how do you say, a more intimate sound, right? Not too open, not so.
La qualità, no? Il
Okay.
suono fine, vellutato, mi piace molto.
Okay. She loves more a softer velvet sound on the violin, and not so much.
Sì, non ho detto che suono caldo, anche, basta che c'è la qualità, no? La finezza,
okay.
del
So
suono.
it's more about the sound beauty, okay? Because it's also interesting when they started to make these new strings, Eva Pirazzi, for instance, that was like 10 years ago. Started to put on people Leva Pirazzi, these strings tend to scream a lot, and everybody in making, during the exhibitions especially, tried to make something loud and focused. So then you had all these instruments, people during the show when it was extremely loud and extremely focused, and they bought it. And then once you're at home, then you have this screaming violin, which, you know, it's not always nice. You know, you need something, you need a violin which is able to do everything. And you are the musician, and by the way you are playing, the violin has to come with you. And when I make my instruments, I try to have a very strong E string, for instance, but it has to be an E string which, when you go in, becomes stronger and even more, and you should not, as a musician, this is my personal opinion, you shouldn't feel a limit, but it should not shout like a screaming cat. You know? So yeah, it has to still remain a beauty, and so it's not so easy.
Sì, perché spesso è un violino che suona da vicino ma non arriva più lontano, se invece se c'è la qualità da vicino sembra più piano, ma in realtà nella sala grande arriva più lontano. Quindi bisogna sempre valutare la qualità, ecco, di suono.
Yes. You need all the positive characteristics, and in a big hall it's important that it comes to the very far end. So it must be nice at the ear, but it also has to be nice for the ones totally at the backside, you know. So it has to be projecting without screaming. It has to be beautiful but projecting, and this is actually the challenge. Yeah. So it's not this easy, this challenge, but on one side, experience is a big help, and on the other side, material. The smaller the instrument is, let's say, the more important the material. So I use spruce from the Val di Fiemme. I use maple from Bosnia. There is so much maple out there. You can take it from the Carpathen in Romania, but it's completely different characteristics, and you cannot achieve this quality. Okay. And the spruce has to be grown in a valley where the wind speed is very regular, the resin is distributed very regular into the whole wood. There's so many components to achieve a certain high level of sound, and then certainly the way of making, the maker itself has to be able to make out of every piece the best in the combination of model and sound, yeah, what you want to achieve. So this is interesting. What else do we have here on the sofa? Do we have some more time? Yes, we have another 10 minutes. I didn't think that we can able so many instruments here, so I don't want to make confusion here, but it's also interesting for you to see a little bit more things and compare it, and then have the direct response. On my web shop we make it without comments, but here we can talk a little bit.
Magari possiamo fare giusto un attimo, mi spieghi cos'è che abbiamo suonato e rispieghiamo un attimo i modelli, perché è stato un attimo un momento.
So then we make it this way. I like to make things very clear. This was the first violin. It was a Stradivari. I participated at the competition, then I stripped it, revarnished it, and it's a Stradivari model bearing the label 2019, but was actually made in 2018 with this diamond. You can see on the web shop for how much I'm offering it. Then we played a little bit on the Guarnieri Sainton, which is a very particular Guarnieri, and I think this is a very good instrument, and I like it very much. And then we played on this Stradivari, which is a Stradivari which I made for the first violinist in Geneva in Switzerland. And he's now playing always on my violin, but on a Guarnieri. And then we have here a Guarnieri, which I made for Joachim Brandl, a musician in Austria. I know him already for many years, when he was 17 years old. I made him this instrument in 1997, so now you all know how old he is. And and this violin actually I sold to him, and then he changed to Viola, and then he said, Edgar, don't sell the violin, he give you this one, and he bought it back and forth. That violin is still around. You wouldn't say after over 20 years, 23 years, we're still exchanging this violin, Joachim and me, back and forth. Right now it's property from Joachim, and I have it here, and I'm happy to have it here. And it's always nice to see how it sounds. You can see that he was really here. I retouched a little bit, just covering it with the shellac, but that was what he did, you know. He was playing a lot on this instrument, and I think it's also interesting to hear this instrument. It's a Guarnieri Isae, I would say not a copy at that time. I just took the instrument, the mold, the form, and then I just made it. But I think it's a charming violin. Let's see what Lena says to this violin. She's used to have a more stronger curve on the bridge. The other ones are all pretty much okay, and the same. This one is just slightly a little bit flatter, so it's good for Tchaikovsky. Okay, no, but I'm also human. You wouldn't believe it, right? Yeah, and generally, how do you like it? The violin?
Anche questo è più Cioè, risposta mi piace.
Quick responding, yeah. Yeah.
A me sembra anche il suono chiaro, no?
It's a little bit more clear, yeah. Okay.
Un'altra cosa importante per me, forse questo violino ci vuole anche un po' più morbido perché con altri violini mi sembrava abbastanza bene, ma con questo violino ho dubbio per arco perché è importante che scegliere arco.
Yeah, there should be a different bow for this violin, a little bit a softer bow for that violin. Usually, we're talking only about violins, but actually the bow is also important. Now she plays always with her bow, since she's used to that one. She already is adapting to so many different in these days, different instruments in these days. But actually, for every violin, you have to a little bit choose your own or the best combination. So yeah, I agree on that.
Trovo che questo violino è ancora un po' più acceso rispetto all'altro modello, quindi ci vuole forse anche un pochettino più morbido di questo, allora secondo me toglie quello un po' di spigolosità che adesso sento da vicino. Quindi.
Wow, bellissimo.
I think this was actually a very good transmission. We are improvising here a lot in these days here, and Lena is extremely big help for me. She is a top musician here in town, and we are really proud to have her here.
Maybe we can
search out on the YouTube her channel. During the lockdown, she was contributing here a lot to the town of Cremona. She was playing on the roof of the hospital. This was just something we all were following this, and it's just worth seeing. She was also recording, playing on the top of the tower in those days, and she told me how this was emotional, strong sensation to be in during those days where the town was completely shut down on top of the tower playing. I will put the link of her YouTube channel. She's a top musician, you have to follow her. She comes from a family of musicians. Her mother is a musician, her sister, they all...
Father?
Also your father?
Yeah.
Okay, wow.
Teacher.
Okay. Wow, yeah, you can tell that. It's just, certain things you just have inside, and so this is, I'm very grateful. Her help you can see on my web shop, all the instruments available, and if they're sold then it's indicated pre-order, but we try to keep up now that all the instruments are recorded, and violin and viola are played by Lena, and her help is crucial, is fundamental for me in these days, and I'm very happy that she's helping us to change here things, and that you can purchase instruments which work, which sound the way you listen, and the one you place the order is exactly the one you're choosing, okay? Within a few days after receive your payment, we are shipping out instruments right to the customers, and usually we are better than your expectations, what you think, okay? My master instruments come with 2 certificates, the one I issue and the one which is issued from the consortium, which I think is another additional guarantee for what you're buying, that this is made with these hands in this workshop here in Cremona. Okay? You can contact me on all kind of WeChat, WhatsApp, Line, Messenger, what else? Kakao Talk for my Korean friends, right? And otherwise, just give me a call. I'm human and I'm happy to talk to you. Okay? Check out my homepage. You can also configure your dream instrument on my configurator, which is also very interesting. And I'm looking forward to receive your message and let me know what you think about it. Thanks for subscribing, and we're heading for 10,000 subscribers, and then we have another surprise what Edgar is doing with his daughters Nina and Anna. Thank you. Bye-bye. See you tomorrow.
Ciao. Ciao.
Today,
Later, yes. Aperitivo. Ciao. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.